Right then, guys, welcome back. We have some winning in action now for Top Cup, baby. And I'm joined with Alex. How are we?
Yeah, not too bad. Lots to look forward to once again. We're going to be bringing back a couple of players who have been on stream already this weekend. We will have our reigning or current world champion, Andre Scubal, playing his Lugia V-Star deck up against Jamie, who was piloting that Mew Fusion Strike deck to great effect a few rounds ago. Both players currently on 29 points. They're currently both will be playing for an opportunity to potentially bubble into the top 8, joining the likes of Magnus Pedersen, who we've seen a couple of times already with that Palkia Inteleon Articuno line, and other players such as Liliano, who's on currently 31 points and likely to sort of take the idea alongside Benjamin Fan with that Zorro box. But here we are, both players here getting ready to set up. Andre, not new to the scene in terms of actually being on feature matches, of course, with that massive poster at Worlds, if you remember, alongside when they were doing the entrance, which is fantastic. And then Jamie again, playing that Fusion Strike Mew VMAX deck to a fantastic effect earlier.
Yeah, and it's going to be a fantastic match. Both players looking to get their spot, hopefully, in the top 8. Top 8 gets all that fancy, a bit more CP, a little bit more prize money. Andre, like you said, no stranger to this stage. This is a very interesting matchup. When I was testing with my friends the Silver Tempest format, this was the first matchup we started testing. Lugia into Fusion Mew. You can guess which deck I was playing, and we did find it was a very close match. As I say, maybe Lugia has a little bit more favoured, but by no means Fusion Mew can stand toe-to-toe. That Meloetta proving to be a real annoyance. A 2-prize Pokemon that can a 1-prize Pokemon, I should say, that can take 2 prizes as early as game 1, and you really have to hit into it because you can't let the Mew player get up to 4 Fusion Energy, because at that point you can do a whole lot of damage with Melodious Echo.
Yeah, definitely, as we see both players here just putting out their prizes. Nothing, again, too crazy. We do have one of the Meloettas in Jamie's prizes there. Does play 2 copies, of course, being able to then use that Melodious Echo to attack and deal heavy damage. But it looks like with Andre checking out his hand, it looks like he will be going first and getting the advantage here, because despite speaking to Jamie when I interviewed him a moment ago, going second, he can still use that Meloetta attack to really take a big KO nice and early. And all Andre has done is bench the Charizard to make sure he doesn't immediately get benched. But it's
we see a quick ball, we see a Fusion Energy, I believe, and we see the Elisas. This is, I believe, was there a Fusion? Yeah, there is. So that means Jamie needs to find his 1 copy of Switch. Escape Rope is not the way to go here, because Escape Rope will push the 1-prize Charizard into the active. It's actually a really interesting decision when you're building a Mew VMAX deck, what your choice of switching cards are. Do you go for more copies of Switch, or do you go for more copies of Escape Rope? Escape Rope allowing you to sort of almost be a soft boss in the early turns, whereas Switch just lets you maneuver around your active. And I tend to go more down an Escape Rope route. Jamie is opting to go for Escape Ropes as well, with 2 copies of them and only 1 copy of Switch. But in this scenario, Escape Rope isn't preferable.
Yeah, it's not ideal here for Jamie. He does need to hit that one-off Switch, which currently isn't prized, so we know it's in deck. He's probably checking his outs right now. He gets that Meloetta, that one-off that he needs. He still needs to play the Elisas. He chooses his 2 targets, which is what you have to do before you go into your deck search, of course. Identifying that he's going to have to put it onto that Genesect. Does get the Genesect also, second Genesect down on the board, because he knows he's going to have to be drawing cards here. This is all about how Mew is able to now function using that Fusion Strike system ability to really get those pieces. There's a lot of cards in Jamie's deck right now, right? But there are still extra pieces that allow him to grab those one-off pieces. That Forest Sealstone, which has been amazing and fantastic to fit into a Mew deck which doesn't have a V-Star power. And there's the first and 1 Fusion Strike. There's the attachment, a fresh hand of 3 from the first Fusion Strike system.
Fusion Strike system's going to draw 3 cards. Like we
this
said,
is massive.
Switch isn't out. The Forest Steel Stones are out. Cramomatic. Sorry, I'm so excited here. I can't get words out. Cramomatic is also out. He's thinking, looks like
he's got a couple of options. Maybe he's got cards that are playable.
There's the Forest Steel Stone.
That's it. That will be. And he's going to also just Lost City that Lugia as well. He doesn't want to use Forest Stone if he can help it, of course, because he can save that for later. But at that point here, he's continuing to just kind of burn through. Andre's going to be on such a back foot, despite going first to get the Lugia out. It's such a scary situation that he's had to open with it. And it looks like it's just going to be staring down at Meloetta. And Andre's not going to have any way of sort of responding because there's no Lugia to get the Lugia V-Star. There's no opportunity to use that Summoning Star ability to get those Archeops out and start being able to return KO on Jamie's side of the board. So really, really strong. Hits every piece that he needs here, Jamie. So, and don't forget, sorry, I did mention that I thought both players were on 29 points. Andre's actually on 30. So he will guarantee himself a spot if he wins in this game, in this sort of round, in this final round of Swiss, whilst we have Jamie who, if he does win, takes himself to 32 points, which could mean that he may bubble out. But in the situation, we likely to think that he's going to do well and potentially just sort of sneak in there. But it's not in our hands. As we see Jamie now grab that item. We expect it to be the switch. There it is, in hand, in full flow, alongside some other cards as well. He just kind of having a double check. He does get the Mew down as well at the same time, and Andre is now staring down at a 2-prize loss against Jamie's, being its lost zone as well.
About the lost city, yeah. Not really strictly relevant necessarily because there's no recovery from Andre's side, but you know that is where the Lugia needs to go, and this is going to be tough because the Meloetta can just keep swinging. I don't think Andre plays any way to actually respond to this Meloetta, at least in one turn.
No, not
Charizard can't really get towards that. So this Meloetta is going to get swung into again. And you have to imagine if Jamie would love to just try and get another 2-prize KO next turn to really just, you know, turn the screw, as it were.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Andre will still need to get another Lugia out. That's another 2 prizes available for Jamie. And typically another way to try and swing those Meloettas back into your favor a little. You try and use maybe the Stoutland, which is possible because you know the Meloetta only has 90 HP. But then again, that's another 2 prizes that you don't want to be giving up. So then it's going down that single prize route through these Charizards, through these amazing rare Yveldos. And there goes the Professor's research. He does discard at least 2. That is 3, it looks like. But at the same time, there's a Lugia.
There's a Stoutland, there's an Oranguru. Is that a Lugia? Oh, no, it's a Lugia, not a Stoutland. I apologise.
And the 4th Archeops is in hand as well. So
you'd like to try and get another Lugia down there just in case Jamie... However, we did see one boss get discarded. He plays 3. So you'd like to see another one come down. Maybe Oranguru can help Andre out here because you have to imagine if Andre only gets one Lugia down and Jamie's able to boss KO it, that's pretty much all she wrote for game 1.
Yeah, there's the Primate Wisdom. Looks like he's about to be using to have a little look at the next card in his deck, putting back 1. Just having a little look what you can get there. There's also an Evo Incense.
Ball? Was it an Ultra Ball or an Evolution Incense? Ultra Ball.
Yeah, it does have an Ultra Ball. The Evo Incense was already in hand.
Yeah.
So a few different options. He could look to try and see what he doesn't require and then kind of Ultra Ball away. But there's, I think, some of the cards in his hand there. He doesn't really have much going on beyond that. So he might have wanted to try and keep something like an Ultra Ball for that Luminion to kind of keep going through his deck. But there it is being played, discarding that Evo Incense, discarding the Archeops, and there's the second Lugia. That's the only way he can get himself back in the game. He is protected by the Oranguru on the bench because Jamie did get the escape rope out of the prizes.
True.
So he won't be giving up more than 1 prize if that escape rope is played. But Jamie, of course, will be looking to try and get those boss's orders as soon as possible and target down those 2 prizes.
Right then, so over to Jamie. You have to imagine boss is definitely the way to go here. You will still need a modifier, choice belt and or power tablet. 1 power tablet isn't a prize, and Jamie did play 1 turn 1, so we still have to find a mod and a boss in ideal world. 4 fusion energies though, that means there is no more mod needed. That Murderous Echo is swinging for an absolute table shattering 208 damage. There's his escape rope. Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
So
I guess you still need the boss though, so I guess that gets cards out of your hand so you can draw more with Fusion Strike system. And let's see what we've got. Lost Vacuum, a Silene. Don't really want to play that. You could Lost Vacuum away the Silene, I imagine. That's probably what I would do. Yep. Get rid of Forest Steel Stone. So now you can draw more cards there with the Fusion Strike system.
Yeah, so just going to be looking at... he's indicating how many cards. He had 2 in hand already, so it's an additional 4 there. A couple of pieces. No, I don't think he's seen anything yet.
Not a lot of playable cards in that hand, though.
Yeah, some of those disruption cards that we see in the other Mew variants, but Does he still have another Fusion Strike system? He still has two.
I think he can draw,
to go, so he's going to be evolving up his Mew. Couple of pieces now. He's got 3 in hand, I believe, so he'll be looking to draw 3 more. Yeah, he's just indicated that for the viewers at home and us as well, and of course for Andre to be able to see that. And here we are, just seeing whether his hand will be able to make the plays to kind of put himself back in such an advantageous position because of that those 2 prizes on the bench there.
I can guarantee you, as a Mew player myself, he has not got any playables in that hand, because you can tell he's thinking, normally you want to try and get into like an Ultra Ball or a Quick Ball, anything like this, but I can guarantee you haven't seen that hand yet, but there's going to be nothing in there. Here comes the discard check. I mean, let's be honest, it's not like it's the end of the world here for Jamie, right? It's still 2 prize cards up. It could be 3 prize cards up. So it's not the end of the world. But then, actually, as an interesting wrinkle, do you even want to take this prize? I mean, the prize mapping doesn't really affect you taking this 1 prize. Then you have to give up this 4 fusion energy advantage you have. And there we go, see the Marnie. So sort of committing, saying, right, I'm not going to be able to get this boss. I wonder, but then, would you want to even take this prize? Because having 4 fusion energies is so impactful. Being able to swing starting base damage at 280 makes it so much easier to deal with a loaded Lugia V-Star. Yeah,
I guess with the Oranguru, it's something you don't necessarily need to get rid of. It's kind of a helpful card for Andre to use things like the Archeops. So if he gets loads of energies in hand, he can kind of put it back into deck theoretically, and then be able to move into his own turns and use the Archeops ability to get those energies attached. Jamie here after the Marnie does see certain cards like his one-off Path to the Peak, I believe, which is quite pivotal to try and stop that Lugia V-Star ability. Should Andre find the V-Star. And here we are, he's going into the attack, does play the path down.
That is brutal.
Yeah, and with Andre only really having 2 outs to it, there's the Lost Vacuum in his list and also the Collapsed Stadium. So there, he's just having a little look what his options are here. He's just about to play down a card.
What is
Can't
that?
quite see what it is, but
he does play 1 copy of
just
Collapsed.
Targeting. Oh, it's a Pumpkaboo.
Oh, it's a Pumpkaboo. Okay.
So however, now he cannot put any further Pokemon onto the bench because he will look to get 2 Archeops onto the board.
Yes, true. So now Luminion can't be a get-out-of-jail-free card here and allow you to draw some cards. And that's a really interesting wrinkle there, for sure.
Definitely. It's just going to impact the rest of the game a little bit because there's no real way to jump out of that bench by that Pumpkaboo. Maybe sort of offering it up at some stage as a prize if you maybe use something like the Luminion to attack into maybe that Meloetta. But here is that Summoning Star ability there, now getting the 2 Archeops, and it's going to be some of those Primal Turbos coming down to be able to search your deck for up to 2 special energy cards and attach them to one of your Pokemon. He might have to try and attack with this Lugia V-Star in the active spot. Because typically, Lugia V-Star doesn't play too many switching outs, does it?
No, we've seen that get capitalised by loads of players. You know, Magnus Pedersen there with the Articuno. We saw in Brisbane as well. We saw the Zekrom Flaffy. Lugia doesn't play an amount of those. We see the V-Guard energy come down, and I'll be intrigued to see how JB wants to respond to this. Because this Lugia V-Star is going to be quite hard. He's prized a Power Tablet. I think he's played 1 already, so I don't think he can actually squeeze into a KO on that Lugia. So if I was him, I wonder if he's going to try and go around it, right? Try and carry that Lugia V on the bench, and then maybe boss again to carry like a Pumpkaboo or something. Because this Lugia is going to be quite hard for Jamie to respond onto that. As we see the Tempest Dive KO, getting Andre on the board with the prize.
I'm sure there was already boss that you kind of mentioned already in his hand, but
yeah,
does
he's
have
got one in the hand
as well.
Yes.
He's got lots of different options to continue just putting his hand down. He does have the extra Mew on his bench there, just almost off our screen. There's a Tails, there's like a 3. Finally can see one of the die rolls on the board there. There's a second.
Number 2, Law of Averages. No, unfortunately, not today. Not today.
He's already had the rubber to green with his first turn. So there's the boss onto the Lugia on the bench.
Still needs to find energy to attack here, though. I think you will need 1 modifier to KO this Lugia.
Does have 4 Genesects out as well. So, you know, if I was Jamie, again, he's already seen it at the top of the 5 cards that he did pick. There was a DT, I believe I saw there.
I think it's a choice belt as well, wasn't it?
Oh, it looks fantastic. He's just getting all the pieces of the puzzle at the moment. We'll have to look at using currently, of course, the Techno Blast attack, so we won't be able to attack next turn, but with the free retreat, so much little kind of utility and cool ways of kind of pivoting out of position and continue attacking again as well. But yeah, lots of different options here. Andre was just constantly on the back foot from the first turn, simply because Jamie was able to get that Meloetta attack off, having most of the pieces in his hand, wasn't it? It was fantastic to see that Alyssa Sparkle, the Fusion Energy, just had to get the Meloetta, had to draw into one more piece, which was that Forest Hill Stone.
Yeah.
But you know, when it happened, when it all comes together, that's what Mew does, and that's why Jamie is 9-2-2 right now.
Yeah, he's even got the power pad to shuffle in more boss's orders. And I can tell you, whenever I play Fusion Mew, which is a spoiler quite a lot, whenever you have a Meloetta, a Fusion Energy, and unless it's in your hand, you are off to the races. You are happy as Larry. It doesn't get much better than that. He actually has the boss's orders in hand as well for next turn. So all you have to do is just find a way to switch this Mew, or even Escape Rope becomes live there. Now we see the Techno Blast KO with the mod.
Great indication of what attack he's using there, because obviously often players just sort of point, and then choose the Techno Blast attack on the bench. But you know, that was a good indication to know this is the attack I'm using. We're knocking out that Lugia, and I'm going to go down to 1 prize. Now Andre still needs 5 prizes here. Technically could potentially find a way to maybe do it in. Actually, it's going to be really difficult, despite that Lugia having a base 220 damage. It's not the most ideal. You could try and use the Yveltal that's sat in his hand currently to just kind of take a knockout possibly on the Mew VMAX, because it's just with a DTE attached. But then it's an easy prize to give up.
Yeah.
It just means Jamie just has to find the energy to attack with the Mew, and that's all she wrote if that's happened. So let's just see how Andre's going to continue playing this out. It's still very early into this game. It's only 15 minutes in, so plenty of time remaining. Both these decks are very aggressive, very quick, so typically would get 3 games in.
Yes.
So yeah, let's just see how Andre is able to respond at this current moment in time. There's a Primal Turbo right now.
I'm guessing this Primal Turbo could be onto the Luminion at this point, or the Charizard. I guess that makes sense as well. But with Jamie only being 1 prize card remaining, you could even attack with the Genesect at this point if you find a DTE with the Techno Blast, because it's got 2 fusions on there.
Yeah, not something you see all the time.
No, not
but it's not really going to be targeted down by Andre, considering there's this Mew in the active spot with an energy attached to it as the core attacker. There's a second Primal Turbo going to the Luminion, giving it a couple of different energy options. It looks like he might try an Aqua Return as a Marnie as well. Yeah, Andre's just confirming that he's still shuffling up. He was just making his choice from his cards. Jamie there shuffling up his hand, which was getting quite rather large as well.
It was.
With a number of prizes being taken, and will be drawing a fresh 4 from his side, and Andre himself will be drawing a fresh 5 from the top of his deck.
And Jamie did have that boss's orders, that 1 remaining copy, so that's going to be sent to the bottom of the deck. And there was that power pad that I don't think Jamie did play shuffling the boss order. So only 1 boss left. I guess in this scenario, Escape Rope is as good as boss, because anything Andre could promote will be able to be KO'd via a Techno Blast, since all those bench Pokemon don't have a lot of HP. Here we see a quick ball getting rid of a Lugia V-Star. Let's see what this targets, if anything. Collapse Stage would have been quite nice there, actually, for Andre to draw into there, you know, denying a little bit more of the Fusion Strike system. Unfortunately, did not draw into that. Just takes a Lugia V, pops it in the hand just to improve some top deck odds. And we just see a Tempest dive for the KO. Yeah,
fantastic amount of damage there, of course, just racking it up because of those powerful energies attached. There's 3 of them on the active Lugia, plus the Choice Belt. Being able to take the KO.
There's a DTE. There's a DTE.
Okay.
Has he got a soft boss? Either Escape Rope or boss's orders would get the job done here.
He's just discarded the DT, so I guess
I think there was 2 in hand. Yeah, 2 in hand. Yeah, he's got all the bells and whistles off that Marnie.
Yeah, then that way he's got. It means that he's removed a non-playable card by discarding it away. There's the two power tablets. There's the DTE. So 190 plus 60 right now, 250 damage.
So drawing 6 cards off a Fusion Strike system. Is there an Escape Rope or boss?
Yeah, looks like
he's got it, and there's the boss.
There's the boss. So Jamie will be taking game 1 of our final round in day 2. Excellent play, being able to sequence very, very well. Andre just unfortunately pushed on the back foot despite going first, exactly what he wants, because he needs to get our Lugia V-Star out as soon as possible to get those Archeops into play. But Jamie, you know, doing what his deck is supposed to, because this is what he said in the interviews. Why he was playing this deck is so that he can be the aggressor from a Mew deck, because he was trying both, multiple variants, of course, the 4DTE version, but that Fusion Strike energy really coming to the fore and paying dividends for Jamie there.
Yeah, Mew VMAX is the only, Fusion Mew VMAX is the only deck in format that could punish that start from Andre. No other deck can KO a 2 prize Pokemon on their first turn going second, and it just stopped that game pretty much there and there, or at least put Andre on a much more of a back foot. And give all credit to Andre there. He got all the way down to 3 cards taken, I believe, and was only 1 KO away from winning. But that it was just that leapfrog, that first turn Meloetta, essentially cheating, taking 2 prizes, removing that Lugia, and pushing Andre back there on the foot. What an incredible game, but let's not make any mistake about it. Andre, current world champion. If anyone can find a route back to victory, it's him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's sitting on 30 points. Of course, it's not guaranteed at 31 if he did get a tie to kind of make it into top 8. If he was able to win, that would give him enough points to propel him into the top 8 as a guaranteed player for there. As we see both players beginning to set up for the second game. The prize cam just showing us, again, nothing too out of the ordinary. The one of the Forest Seal Stones that Jamie plays, he plays 2 ofs, so it's generally multiple cards. Andre already with a much better start. He has the Oranguru in the active spot, has a quick ball for a second Lugia, and a Marnie being discarded, so that means he has another supporter in hand. So they're just prioritizing getting those Lugias out, getting that Lugia V-Star as soon as possible, to make sure that he will be able to begin setting up with those Archeops. Yeah,
for sure. We even see another quick ball. I imagine Andre might look to play that just to protect himself from a Meloetta escape rope play, because as it stands now, the escape rope would allow Jamie to get 2 prize cards, so he could protect himself from the escape rope. And yeah, much better start. At least Andre will be able to do a turn 2 summoning star most likely.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that kind of key aspect here is whether he can avoid another escape rope play. Should there be the option for Jamie to do so. There's maybe a discard of an important card there.
Stout.
Didn't want to put that Stoutland down, of course.
Okay.
But, you know, if you're going to give up a V anyway, giving up one of the Lugias is exactly the same. You don't want to keep 2 more on the board. Jamie there starting the Mew. Obviously has that free retreat opportunity. Has a lot of playable cards, which is good to see when you're a Mew player, because that typically means that you're going to be hopefully drawing a lot during your turn. So there's the quick ball, discarding one of the 3 boss that Jamie plays. As he searches through, checks what is prized. One of his Mew VMAX, I suppose, is prized, because he only plays the 2 copies. We mentioned this in his previous game as well. But he didn't even need to use the second one, so it didn't even matter at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'd be interested to see if Jamie, looking at his prize cards, knowing that you know, like there is 1 VMAX prize, Forest Steel Stones prize, 1 Fusion Energies prize. I wonder if he'll look to try and go for the escape rope Meloetta play, or will he just try and take this turn off, as it were, and just try and set up a bit slower. We see a Cram head. I imagine this probably finds a VIP battle pass, so you can get the Genesect down and start drawing a ton of cards. We do see the Fusion Energy in hand already, so you could even opt to put a Meloetta down here and get that energy on and grab another Genesect or something. Let's see what he looks like. I imagine it's always going to be VIP Battle Pass. Yeah. There it is. And let's see what he chooses to take.
The Battle VIP Pass is a fantastic option. There was 1 prized, of course, and Jamie just there filling up his board with more support Pokemon and the additional attacker in the Meloetta, of course. I didn't quite see whether the Alyssa Sparkle was in hand.
No, he hasn't got
but yeah, so we'll just be looking to try and potentially dig through, see if he can also find that escape rope. We'll need a few more pieces, because he also needs a Fusion Strike Energy in the hand as well.
I think he's got one in hand already.
Okay, there you go. So he's just going to make sure he can try and get an aggressive attack off ASAP. There's the power tablet. There's the attachment of the Fusion Strike Energy and the first Fusion Strike system.
Do we get an Elisa? Ooh,
not quite. Not does have a Battle VIP pass and
a
quick ball, so can continue burning down his hand so that he can continue drawing up to potentially 6 cards here, because further 2 or 1 and then using the quick ball to just kind of thin some stuff out. Lots of opportunities there, but he does go for the double Meloetta play. Identifying with the Stoutland also out of action. That's not exactly going to help jump up the prize race anyway. So yeah, this is again exactly what Jamie had mentioned to me in the interview. He went As long as I can get to be the aggressor, I can play down 2 Meloetas. I find myself in a very comfortable position generally against what's considered the best deck in format, that tier 0 deck that everyone seems to be discussing since LAIC, and there comes the Fusion Strike system as well. But yeah, just going ahead and prizes against another aggressive deck is fantastic.
Oh no, he drew into a Fusion Energy. I don't think it's...
There's a Seal for a Seal Stone, and 1 Fusion Energy in the prizes means it won't be able to take the knockout here, although has a couple more power tablets in hand.
Yeah.
Still just be maybe, I think that might just be enough. So it's 140 with 2.
He could.
And if he sort of goes all in, but it does inhibit his turns later, because I think he's also discarded that Silene.
He's going for it. He's going for the cheeky Meloetta KO when you only have 2.
He still needs 1 more piece.
Whoa, so
and he can't discard that Mew VMAX in his hand.
Yeah, so he can only draw 3. This is why he's gone all in here, Jamie. Let's see what he draws. Does he get the Elisa? That doesn't look like an Elisa.
That doesn't look like an Elisa.
Oh, but he's got the Forest Steel Stone, actually, right?
But then he's got the escape rope.
Oh,
so he needed 2 pieces, and it looks like he might have just missed 1, and he's just chosen the list of Sparkle targets there. It looks like he's identifying the 2 Meloettas. Of course, Andre not playing anything like Greninja. But there's just a 1 attachment to the one that has already a Fusion Strike energy on it. Will be dealing 140 base with the 2 energies attached, plus 3 times 30, that's 90 more damage. 230 damage, which will take the KO.
Where's that come from?
I have no idea where that's come from. maybe we just missed it.
Keeping us on our toes, Jamie.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah, that's enough.
We'll just be quiet. We'll just let Jamie do his thing. You know, he's taken a massive KO there.
Wow.
2 energies will be likely taken off the board by Andre if he's able to get those Archeops into play. But it could be a little bit troubling here because he obviously hasn't had a chance to really play a supporter until now. But we'll need to find those Archeops as soon as possible. I think he found the Lugia V-Star, but has he found a way to discard those Archeops as well? There's an Ultra Ball.
Ultra Ball. It's normally a good start.
Yeah, there's 1 Archeops. So he might be able to grab a second one. And then I think he might have had a Quick Ball in hand as well. And he will be able to retaliate. There it is. There's that Quick Ball. There's a hiding energy. Some more energy cards.
Is there 2 Quick Balls in the hand there? What's that? Yeah, I think
it looks like another Flot Ball. That isn't obviously the English version. I think that's the German Quick Ball variant. But then, lots of options to kind of continue bursting through. So here it is. There's 2 Archeops now in the discard pile. Getting another attacker, another Pokemon to use, or Luminion as well, because you can just Aqua Return and then go into something like the Oranguru or anything else, or another Archeops. So yeah, there it is. There's the Summoning Star. There's the first Primal Turbo. He's just holding the Luminion for the next turn, really. Jamie does obviously play the 1 path to the peak. Maybe that's one way of Jamie inhibiting Andre's next turn. But so many options. There's the second Primal Turbo as well, just to attach an energy to the Archeops and give himself a pivot option. But this will be wiping off 2 energies from the board and has the V-Guard energy attached. Will make it really difficult because Jamie played 3 tablets already.
Yeah, this is looking quite dicey for Jamie here. Just talking, I was trying to think what can Jamie do, and being 3 tablets down is insane. That means that this Lugia isn't going to go down anytime soon. You're going to have to try and 2-shot it, and we've seen already that Lugia, because Jamie doesn't play an Oricorio, it's actually not too hard for Andre to actually Oko a Mew VMAX.
We saw it in game 1, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so it's going to be quite interesting. Andre can just try and limit his bench. Don't put down any easy 2-prize Pokemon. Make him try and 2-hit this, then put the next one down. And I think at this point, while it looks like Jamie's ahead on prize race and he's going to get a big hit in it, I do think it might be Andre's game to lose. But anything can happen as he puts down another Mew V. And any time you can draw, like 5, 6, 7, 8 cards a turn, you're never truly out of it, right?
No, 100% not. But we do also know that that Andre doesn't, of course, that there is a Mew VMAX in Jamie's prizes still. So if he does lose this Mew VMAX that's currently got the DTE that he attached to, following the switch to that active Mew right now, if it does go down, he won't really have many, if any, attackers at all, because that Meloetta won't be able to power herself up. It only has the 1 fusion energy in hand, and there's another chromatic tails, sorry, and with the other fusion energy also prized, will leave Jamie a bit short in terms of how he can sort of manage this.
Yeah, for sure. If this Mew VMAX goes down, Meloetta is not a threat, like you said. One's in the prizes, one's in the hands. There's no burst there. I think it would be time to go to Concession City at that point. Is this a boss?
Yeah, it's a boss on the Archeops.
Okay, I don't mind this. He's going to try and limit the energy acceleration,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I do believe yeah, it does get lost sent to the city. Yeah, no, he's correct.
See, into the lost zone. The little bird just kind of, the little rock bird going straight to the lost zone. But back over to Andre.
I'm trying to work out what engine got there.
He's got 2 powerful and an Aurora, I think it wasn't it?
And a V-Guard, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's got 1 powerful in hand. So I believe this Mew VMAX can go down, right? I think
we'll need a choice belt as well, I believe. So it's 220 base plus the 3 powerful, which puts it to 280 plus 30 for choice belt. We'll hit the magic 310 because there's no Oricorio on Jamie's side that you alluded to as well.
I mean, you could even Primal Turbo. Oh, are there 2 powerfuls in hand? I was going to say, you can Primal Turbo the last powerful from deck if it is in deck.
Still wouldn't be quite enough.
Oh, is that 300? Oh, that's 300.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you are correct.
So it does need the choice belt. So there's the Primal Turbo. Again, maybe just kind of setting himself up for the next turn as well because he doesn't have another attacker at the moment. Just giving himself. He's eyeing it up. Just kind of having a little look at his list as well. There's nothing like a Zigzagoon to kind of tip him over the edge. 220 plus the 80 would only put it to 300, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If my maths serves me correctly. But, you know, again, we're not going to discount Andre from knowing exactly what he's trying to do here. He has now gone into the boss. He's going in. Okay. He's gone into the easier KO with the Genesect first. Maybe doesn't want to bench that Luminion where possible. So just takes the knockout on this Genesect. Now this Mew is still just kind of awkwardly in the active spot. Just waiting to get KO'd. And yeah, that's 2 prizes for Andre. Now evening up to 3-3. But Jamie does have a free prizer on the board.
Yeah, I love that play from Andre. Like I said, he knows that Jamie is down those power tablets. He knows that this Lugia isn't going to go anywhere next turn. So he's just saying, I'm going to limit your draw options here. And I'm just going to build towards this Oko with the choice belt. Right? I don't have to find it this turn. You have to put a free prizer in the active at some point. You can kind of guess that the Meloetta isn't going to be a threat anytime soon. Fantastic play from Andre. Even though he's only got 1 Archeops, I think he's definitely in the driver's seat. Let's see what we've got there. We've got a Marnie, a Boss. And that's the thing, because Andre hasn't put down any other 2 prize Pokemon, Boss becomes less attractive at this moment in time. Could opt to go after the Archeops, to be fair, and remove all the special energy, but then that gives this Lugia 2 more turns to try and find this choice belt, you know, to ruin the day.
I guess one of the few things that Jamie could try and do is maybe use Echoing Horn to find an easier KO. He wants to try and get hold of that other Mew VMAX. If this one, well, I guess if it goes down, he loses. But he's just going to look for maybe that Echoing Horn to try and bring back a V where possible. You know, he's already knocked out a Lugia. That Stoutland was discarded as well.
True.
Those easier targets are available to him there. But it's just whether Andre on the next turn will be able to find that one of his 2 choice belts and take the return KO here and take game 2. And right now there's plenty of time as well for a game 3 if Andre is able to find this.
All right, here we go. Big turn for Andre.
There's a massive turn here for Andre to bring himself back into this game for day 2. So just it'll be interesting to see what he does. He does have that Luminion, so he can dig for things like the research.
There's a research
that he'll be playing. Oh, there you go. So maybe just digging cards out of his deck. You know, this turn is pivotal for Andre.
This is a massive turn for Andre here. Can he win this turn? We don't really want to put down that Luminion. That gives Jamie an easy boss's orders target. We saw him power pad in 1.
Yeah, that's very true. He ideally wouldn't want to put it down because it still means it gives him a chance to continue looking for that choice belt where possible. Jamie still yet hasn't found that extra VMAX to kind of keep switching into to attack. So because he's used Technoblast right now, is in a awkward spot as well.
He is. That's a fantastic point, actually, yeah.
So lots of little nuances that we need to kind of consider in this matchup at the same time based on how it's gone so far. The Ultra Ball here from Andre to discard his further 2 Archeops, which would never see, you know, the light of day and come into the game because that Summoning Star has already been used. But here he is just grabbing that Charizard. Why not? Thinning out the deck, getting that sort of additional 1 prize attacker as well. So it's just down to Andre whether he can use that research and find that choice belt.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. I wonder what card... Oh, it was the Luminion. So
Yep.
Andre chose to preserve the Lumin. There's
There
the choice
we
bell.
go. There it is. 310
Woo!
damage from that Lugia. 330 damage from that Lugia. Being able to take game 2 for our world champion. Great play from both players.
Yeah.
We've seen Jamie be able to turn 1 KO on both games so far, and now he'll go into the game 3 with an advantage because he gets to choose to go first if he would like to. Because Andre can't do anything at that stage because his deck just still has to wait for an evolution into that Lugia V-Star.
Yeah, you have to imagine, as well as Jamie has been doing going second, you have to imagine you want to go first.
Oh,
here,
yeah.
right? You know, try and get to that Mew VMAX faster, try and build to those 4 energies even faster, just really be the aggressor. But, yeah, what a game, though.
Yeah.
So entertaining. Going from, you know, a 3 power tablet turn 1 with a 2 energy Meloetta.
With that hidden escape rope that we didn't notice at all.
Yeah, the hidden escape rope. Into Lugia coming in with 4 powerfuls and a choice belt.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the table is exploding, like it's all going crazy as we get back here into this game 3, this potential win or go home game for both players. Here we go.
Yeah, into our game 3, and
ooh,
oh my God, have you seen those prizes from Andre?
Oh my goodness.
That's going to be a tough one here. Andre playing the 4-3
At least he's
line.
led the last one. But it's in the active. That's going to be a lot easier for Jamie to KO, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a big worry here for Andre. I mean, Jamie does have the Forest Seal Stone as well. Plays down the Ultra Ball, discarding a Mew VMAX.
Good thing he hasn't prized his other one.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's probably made a good decision there. You know, surely he can't have. There's a Forest Seal Stone to get the Battle VIP pass as well. Now, playing a little bit quicker, of course, because he doesn't want to make sure this game goes to time. But I'm not sure what Andre could do if this Lugia goes down. It's super tricky. Andre obviously hasn't had a chance to do a deck search yet.
Yeah.
Be interested to see how his reaction is going to be once he does. But still, we're focusing on Jamie here because this is pivotal. This is a chance to hit that magic 32 points scenario or number to potentially make it into top 8. To make it into giving himself a fantastic chance to maybe become our Stuttgart regional champion for our 2022-2023 season and really put themselves in a great position for their invites and that road to Yokohama feeling right now. But Andre there just kind of eyeing up some of his cards, just kind of sequencing a little bit. But Jamie doing all he can to start bursting, plays down more playable cards. First Fusion Strike system. Just kind of see where he can get to. Does get an energy, which is exactly what he wants. He just wants, you know, potentially just get 1 energy attachment down. Can now look at going for the Mew. Does choose to play the power tablet early, which is an interesting move.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I guess Jamie's just valuing drawing more cards. I mean, he hasn't got a crazy amount of...
Finds a switch, which is important.
Does find a switch, actually, yeah. And I guess for Andre, I mean, he isn't to know what his prize cards are, but at least that Forest Seal Stone has been used nice and early. You know, you'd rather that be used early if you're the opponent.
Yeah, definitely.
So there's going to be no easy way to find a combo piece. And I guess from Jamie's point of view, he's only got 4 Pokemon out, not the greatest amount when you're trying to draw cards with Fusion Strike system. You're only drawing, you know, 2, 3, or maybe 4 at the max. Yep. You want to try and fill that bench out. Maybe that's why he opted to play the power tablet.
That's why he's still trying to burst through. He's got his final Fusion Strike system right now for, I think, for a further 3 cards to a maximum hand of 4 right now. And he's really struggled to actually find some cards. He does have a boss and a path there as well. He doesn't want to path himself, of course. Here we go. Andre's about to sort of figure out what's in his deck. He doesn't have an easy way to retreat this Lugia either to try and protect it. He needs to hit that DTE to be able to do so. And this is going to be a vital key moment here to really understand what's in his deck and what he's prized. This is going to be big. He's just got I think he's got to double check one more time, surely, unless he's already seen it.
He's got the world's greatest poker face.
He's grabbed the Archeops there. I think he's just kind of mulling over his options. He's also, like I said, just removed his potential switch out. With that DTE there as well, attaches the capture.
Or maybe now, if he didn't
maybe he went for the Archeops first.
Yeah.
As he goes through his deck.
I think this is when he's going to
I think all eyes on Andre right now as he just looks through. He's gone through once.
Look through this can't be right. Look through.
He's a little flicker there, and he's just going through. And I think he's just understood that he's not going to be able to pull any other Lugia out right now.
And what makes it even scarier is that this Lugia, like you said, now that the DT is gone, has to stand there in the active and just hope that Jamie can't KO it. I mean, we did see a power tablet get used, and we do need at least one power tablet to get the KO there on that Lugia.
At the moment, Jamie hasn't really drawn too many cards from that Fusion Strike system either. Not been too many playable. I know there's a boss and a path in his hand, so at least one playable card. There's a capture for the Oranguru, but there's not going to be much else Andre can do in this position. So it comes down to whether this Lugia is able to survive a hit or not.
Yeah.
If there's another supporter in hand for Andre as well, to just kind of at least get things going a little bit. There's a Serena to be able to draw some cards down. Could have been a thing where maybe you're going for the Serena. That switch has been played. Maybe Serena to boss up the Genesect just to kind of get out of, make it a little bit more difficult, because then it's only the escape rope.
Yeah, that would have actually been perfect, because it's only the escape rope. But you know, Andre isn't to know that Jamie's switch card counts, and it's easy for us to make the perfect plays.
Exactly, we are. This is where we are very privileged to be able to see the prizes, and for the viewers at home to see how Andre is going to be able to navigate this turn. Now he's just used that first attack, and it goes over to Jamie. We're both just leaning forward at the moment as a Chromatic comes down, and I think that was a Tails.
I think
it must be a Tails. There's the other VMAX, and exactly why he was able to discard that VMAX earlier as well. Here's the Fusion Strike system. There's an Ultra Ball, so he can continue burning through. There's an Alyssa Sparkle to get the energies, but still tiny bit short.
Opted to get rid of both of those, I believe, and keep, what was that, as the Stadium? Here we see...
Does need a Meloetta to be able to use that attack as well. There's
there's the Elise. Oh, he did keep the Elise.
So then he's going to have a fresh 5 Fusion Strike system to be able to draw cards to, and just all he needs is one tablet, one choice belt, and that will be all the Lugas out of action, out of play for Andre.
Wow, so here we go. We just need to see one modifier here for Jamie. Choice belt gets the job done. Power tablet gets the job done. There are none of them in the prize cards. We have seen one power tablet be used, so that should mean there's 4 outs in the deck. Here comes the first Fusion Strike system. Second Fusion Strike system.
Only got action.
This is going to draw 5. Here we go.
Hasn't hit yet. There's a money.
There's a lot
of playable cards to get out.
There's a lot of playable cards there. A lot of ball search cards. That's what you want to see when you're digging for cards. You want to be able to get cards out of your hand.
The mute. I think he might be also mulling the option about maybe getting another Genesect down as well. Although it's actually one prize.
One prize.
So in theory, what you should be looking to do maybe is actually using that Mew onto the bench as well.
Yeah, just bench the Mew. Maybe Ultra Ball away, Quick Ball, Lost Vacuum, Finn. Draw some more cards and then play the Marnie at the end.
Remember, you can get some cards from those ball searches, put them into your hand. He's discarded the Marnie for that final. He's just targeting. I think he maybe hadn't done the count for that Genesect yet, so he has to go for the Mew here and still has Mew in hand. Again, he's getting to that game 3. He's probably thinking there's not too much time left, so he's making a few different shortcuts. But has limited his option a little bit. Oh, he's Lost Vacuumed it away anyway. So again, he does get the fresh 6.
So this is going to be a fresh 6 trading cards here. Remember, Power Tablet or Choice Belt gets Jamie the...
There's there's 2 tablets. And
and he isn't to know.
Unfortunately for Andre, he's scooping. He's about to show... There's 1 Lugia, there's 2, and there's 3.
Oh,
and it's just unfortunate for our world champion, but congratulations to Jamie hitting that 32-point mark, and it'll be amazing to see whether he'll be able to make it into our top 8 or not. But fantastic. Again, this is the second time we've seen Jamie in quick succession actually win a game on stream, which is fantastic. I can't say that word anymore.
And there we're seeing a Mew, it's not just a go second. If you can go first, you have a lot of power over the game. You can then play those supporters, not tied into the Elisa. Power tablets letting you reach big numbers and being able to just draw so many cards with Genesect when you just need to find one modifier. Really, at the end of the day, wasn't too hard for Jamie, and well done to him.
Yeah, well done to him. And then, of course, congratulations to Andre as well. He is our current world champion. Just super unfortunate. I don't think you ever go into any game thinking 3 of your 4 ofs are prized, and especially when it's so vital to have them for your deck as well. Otherwise, your deck just can't function. Maybe if he discarded a different energy instead of that DT might have a chance, because then it's not forcing a different card.
Yeah,
but
sure.
he's not to know.
Yeah.
He went through his deck the first time just to get the Archeops out with that Ultra Ball. Hadn't even checked the Lugias at that point. And then when he went through with a capture energy, he started to feel just a little bit down. Unfortunately, he only had to grab the Oranguru instead.
Yeah.
And that's all she wrote. But again, fantastic play. He ended on 30 points, still in contention maybe for a top 16 slot, or at the very least guarantees top 32, which is still points, still prizes, still a way to qualify for Worlds, making sort of great grounding in sort of qualifying for Worlds in Yokohama. So congratulations to him anyway, despite not doing that.
Right, so it looks like we're going to cut to a little video, and then we're going to get a winner's interview as well, so don't go anywhere.
Hi everyone, we're back yet again to bring you a bit of a mini game that we're going to be playing with TCG, so it's myself and Shay against a Go.
Hello, we are GoCasters. I am Amandine, and I am with
Amanda. We're the M-Man duo, and we are ready to go.
So we've just found out exactly what we're going to be playing. We're going to be guessing the Pokemon from the Pokedex entries of Sword and Shield. So it'll be really interesting to find out whether our Pokemon knowledge is going to be there from a TCG perspective against Go. And from the kindness of our own hearts, we will give Pokemon Go casters the first round.
it loves to collect shiny things. If it's in a good mood, it might even let its trainer have a look at its hoard of treasures.
So my first guess would be Sableye? I'm going strictly from what I think of from the Pokemon that I know.
Okay, let's go Sableye.
Or do you want to try to take a hint and see? Or
It's up to you, to be honest.
Be interesting to see the hint.
Yeah.
all right, we'll do a hint.
How long have they got left? Sorry, is that 100?
So the hint is it gets one evolution,
One
so it would not be
evolution,
Sableye.
Yeah, it's not Sableye.
So what collection?
A bird, maybe.
Oh, okay, okay.
How long?
Yeah, I think
Should we do the second hint?
Yeah.
you're correct.
I think that's
We're not going to tell
time.
him.
I think that's time.
We have no idea.
So, unfortunately, they weren't able to make a good guess. But we have one guess here, Shay.
Right, so we're going to go with... What are we going to go with?
You will have to tap it
We're
again.
going to go with Persian.
It's close because it's now.
Oh! That's why I said which one.
We were saying each,
Yeah,
but
we were.
after that, none of us have been able to get the round one guess, but now it's over to us to try and get it for round two.
This one says, this Pokemon is full of vitality. It constantly flies around its large territory in search of prey.
Sounds like something like a Yanma kind of type.
I was thinking
Description.
more of like a Pharaoh, to be honest.
Full of vitality?
Full of vitality.
I'm very
Pidgeot?
very bad with these guesses, so I think we should take the hint. We should
You
try
want
and
to take the
find
hint?
out. It'll give us a start. We've got to do this quite quickly.
Okay,
right?
okay. If it says Evolutions 2, I'm reckon it's going to be like a Pidgeot, I reckon. Yeah, I reckon it's in the Pidgey line. Threats of prey.
I don't know. We can try a second hint. Let's try and get
Okay,
the
let's
time.
try the second hint.
It's normal flying. It's
Oh,
gotta be one-
Pidgeotto. Yeah! Very good. So that's what, 1 point for us?
We'll take the point.
We'll take a point. Let's go.
Come on.
GG's, guys.
All right, they're ahead by 1 point now, but we're not afraid. We're going on to the next round here, and it's when it retracts its long neck into its shell, it squirts out water with vigorous force. Okay, this is probably like Squirtle, right? Or-
Yeah, I mean, water,
Yeah.
shell. Let's say Squirtle.
We got it. Yeah.
Far too easy.
Finally!
That was far
GG's,
too
Amanda.
easy, surely.
They get... That's outrageous. Who picked these then? Who picked these then?
Unfortunately now, I believe
So now
we're down.
we're pointing back now. Yeah.
Might be 2. Right, so going into round 4, the go-casters are on 3, we're on 1, but it's our turn now, so into round 4.
Okay, here we go. It said that this Pokemon's beautiful blue wings are made of ice. Blank flies over snowy mountains, its long tail fluttering along behind it. That's got to be Articuno, right?
That's only an Articuno.
Yeah. Articuno, locking that in now. Boom, right back at ya, let's go.
They thought we had the easy one.
Yeah, it's my favorite Pokemon, so.
Is it?
I was starting to think a non-OG 150, but we'll take it.
We'll take that.
3 points in the bag.
Yeah, and we'll continue this game after a short break.
Right then, guys, we are now joined with that last round winner, Jamie, in contention for top 8. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Better than I thought I'd do today. So, you know, only really aiming for day 2. So, the fact I've got this far is great.
One of them ones where you hit your target and somehow you just keep winning, thinking, what's going on? I can't stop losing. Now you find yourself in contention for top 8, just beating our current world champion. When you saw your last pairing, you saw you just playing against Andre, what was going through your head?
I felt good playing Lugia. I kind of want to hit Lugias.
Okay.
It's Meloetta, so it's a lot more aggressive into Lugia. So yeah, I'd much prefer to play something like Lugia than a Lost Box, or I won't really want to play the mirror either, so don't mind who the player is. It's just the deck's all you have to focus on. So
that makes sense. It's the same cards being played at the end of the day. Was 4 DTE version from you ever a consideration for this event?
It was. I did a little bit of testing with both of them. I knew I didn't want to play Lugia to begin with, so Mew's the deck I've played the most with. I was going to play Mew. Tested both. I just didn't think the DTE build was good enough into Lugia. I felt you relied on hitting path turn 1, or you just really couldn't compete, especially going second. It's kind of difficult, so I just ended up on the fusion build, a bit more aggressive, bring the game to them, and it's good going first or second because I lose a lot of coin flips for going first, so it's nice to have that option as well.
Yeah, that's what I really like about the fusion. You actually have a game plan going second. There's no other deck in format. Like I think in the game 1 where you just instantly took out that Yugi. This is true. This is true. But like in the game 1 where you just KO'd the Lugia straight away and just put Andre on such a back foot where you were using the drive.
He didn't have a second Lugia, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Mew's the only real deck that can do that. So talk us through that game 3. At what point did you realise that, or did you even realise that Andre's probably prized at least 1 Lugia, or maybe if not 3?
Well, when he did that deck search, looked through it about 3 times. He sighed.
Yeah.
Picked an Oranguru. As soon as he didn't do anything, as soon as he ended the turn, I had a feeling they were all prized because you always put 2 down if you can going second.
Course.
You can't afford to leave 1, so at that point it was all about trying to find my tablet.
Yes.
I'd unfortunately had to discard the choice belt in that turn to go for a cram.
Yes,
my hand was a bit too clunky, so I was just hoping I'd be able to find a way into, well, the belt or tablet to get the knockout.
Well, and you did.
Yeah.
So talk to us about if you're in contention for top 8 now. Let's just say, all fingers crossed, you do make it. What decks are you wanting to avoid?
I don't think there's any of the Lost Box Kyogre running about this high that I've noticed. I hope not. That's kind of the main one I wanted to avoid all day. I've only played 1 through the whole tournament, so I'm quite lucky in that regard. I don't mind playing Control.
Okay.
I've got the Silene, I've got the Palpad. I tried to tech my deck a little bit more towards Control, so I at least have a game plan going into it rather than just you can't knock out enough things in time and they'll deck you out. So yeah, maybe not those 2, but the rest of them I'm all right into.
Okay, and then give us a little insight into your Lugia match today. You said that you're super confident into that. What's your sort of game plan if you know you're sitting across the table from a Lugia?
It depends well, if you're going first or second, it depends what's in my deck, but going second I kind of like to try and set up 2 Meloettas.
I saw, yeah.
So I can kill, if there's a Lugia active, I can kill the first Lugia.
Right.
If there's one on the bench and they don't have another single prizer, again, you've got Rope to kill it again.
Yes.
And if they do have 2 single prizes, as long as I've got all 4 Fusion Strike Energy in deck, I can Elsa Sparkle, kill 1 single prizer, Then boss kill another single prizer. So then they only have 4 prizes left. And as long as I can find a way to kill 1 normal V at some point in the game, which they probably have to put 2 Lugias down, turn 1 if, you know, they're going first. So if they can't evolve both of them, I kill one of them with the Mew VMAX, and then I've got enough tablets plus choice belts to kill the other one. Or worst comes to worst, I've got Silene as well, so I can try and high roll the ones I've discarded and kill 2 Lugia V-Star as well. So that's sort of my game plan I've got for the matchup.
Yeah, sounds about right. It's interesting. When I first saw your list, I thought I can learn a lot about JV. Looking at the list, when I saw the 2 escape ropes, 1 switch, I thought, this man's aggressive with the Meloretta. He wants to try and get the soft boss turn 1.
It's also for the Duraludons as well. If I saw any, I'd be able to go the rope play. So.
Yeah, just go around it. As
exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's been Jamie. Best of luck for you.
Thank
I hope
you.
you get into top 8.
Same.
I'm going to cut to a video now, but
okay.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And don't go anywhere.